everybody, and welcome back to another TFR eSports live stream. I'm a commentator today, Alfie. We are here around Las Vegas in the F1 division for a brilliant and hopefully very nice sprint race. Now today, this is going to be one for it all. A lot of points up for grabs for drivers like Motu Silva and Mint Kestrel, two of the two drivers competing for the World Drivers' Championships here right now. Only about around 43 points separate these two drivers. So if Mo does have a bit of an off day here around Las Vegas, that could leave Mint Kestrel to pounce on that opportunity and maybe take a big chunk out of the lead, of Motu Silva's lead. B29 overtakes Diaz. He has been dealt a season ban, and Chris has taken his position in that lovely red Ferrari. We have 18 drivers on the grid today with a few reserves here and there. Reserve for Red Bull, a reserve for Williams, Haas, and I believe that is it. No, and a Sauber. We were meant to have 19 drivers, but sadly one of them has had to drop out. This is going to be one exciting sprint qualifying, as Chris has provisional pole right now with a 130.5 on those medium compound tyres. Some drivers like CJ have already used their soft compound tyres, and he has set a 132.1. May have been a bit early to set that lap time, but only time will tell if that will come to fruition, as most drivers coming into the pits now to put on those soft compound tyres. A few drivers sticking out on track, and one driver looking to make a very nice comeback. JVKP, who is P7, a 131.5, very nicely done from him. JVKP taking a few races off in TFR eSports. It would be to check, it would be 3 races to be exact. He has spent some time on holiday in another country, having a very nice relaxing time, and we are hoping that now that he is back, he will show that he has the pace that he once had, and hopefully can make up for all the mistakes and all the incidents he was dealt with it at the start of the season. Is Epic the Animal, since a 131.1 on those soft compound tyres. Very respectable lap from the Mercedes driver. But one thing to point out is only Chris is quicker than F3 pole. Now, to be completely honest, the driver who set F3 pole, Ledanes, he is a rocket ship, and I will not be surprised if most drivers cannot set a time like he has. If some drivers even in here, even in this top division, is Ledanes is a very quick driver and will definitely be getting promoted up a division next season. As Mint Kestrel is now, as we go on board, Mint Kestrel coming around to these final few corners now, about to start his lap. Most drivers now put on the soft compound tyres. A few drivers either not set a lap on those mediums, maybe saving them for the sprint race, or are just waiting to try and save as much time as we can. We now jump aboard Mint Kestrel as he begins his lap time now on the soft compound tyres. One of the first drivers to start his his lap time on these softs. Oh, is he quite stupidly close to Williams there? That is very risky if Mint Kestrel make contact with him then. We now watch him take it very nice. 90-degree turn coming out of sector 1, 3/10 up. That is purple sector 1 for the Aston Martin driver. Very good so far. Just need to see how Mint deals with the ERS struggles that come around Las Vegas. You don't want to burn your usage too much before the final straight, so you can utilize all of that ERS that you may have built up for this back straight. So we now watch him hit that back straight, activate the telemetry. He has a lot of VRS remaining, and he is put on the minimal fuel. As if you look at the map, his teammate B29 looking to give Mint Kestrel a tow. Definitely a big gap between now. Pulls off to the side to let Mint Kestrel throw it in to the last corners, looking not to invalidate, nice and smooth. Got to get the power down early and now activate that ERS to hopefully throw, and now throws it across the line for a 135.87, exactly 200ths of a second away from Chris's medium tire lap time. Epic the animal retires from the session. He can't improve on his time. One driver who definitely can is B29, who's now looking to just steal as much of the toe as he can off his teammates. He barely brushes by, almost big contact from the two Aston Martin drivers there. Very, very risky, but maybe beneficial of what B29 has done now. As he exits sector 1, he now goes purple sector 1 as Dino improves to a 131.0. Very respectable lap time from him. Now as we watch B29 taking it through past the sphere, I think it's called, saving a lot of ERS, ready to bin all down. This back straight as JVKP is now retired from session. He is saving his soft compound tires. He doesn't think he can improve. As Wave Drain now hits a 130.6, very nicely done from the Mercedes driver. As we keep on board B29, who goes purple sector 2, looking very promising this lap. But the question is, how will time tell about how he does? Phantom Fox improves up to P7. Both the V-Cops dropping down the order, as JVKP may have retired a bit early, dropping all the way down to P10. Varga, who I think has an outstanding qualifying, is retiring. NIFO not set a lap yet. With B29 cross the line, good enough for a 130.7. That is provisionally P4. We now go on board with our provisional pole sitter Chris. He goes purple sector 1. These drivers showing that the longer you wait to set your lap, the grippier the tracks get. The problem is, he has a RP behind. Luckily pulls up to the side as Kevin Cowell improves to P11 with a 131.4. Very nicely done. Tax Collector improves to P9 with a 131.4 as well. As now we have most drivers doing their laps, now looking to find those extra tenths wherever they can. Kestrel coming to now Michael Leaf retires. He doesn't think he can improve from his 132.0. CJ finishes not improving to go ahead of Mindmaster. Mindmaster tries. Motu Solver goes faster with a 130.529. Very, very nicely done. The only GC finishes qualifying P6 with a 130.8. Just a tenth behind B29. So we now watch Chris round the final corners and using every bit of ERS in his Ferrari to the line. Mindmaster improves to a 131.1. Provisionally P8 as Chris crosses the line. Pole, a 130.0. Very, very nicely done from the Ferrari driver in his second start for the prancing horses. He has taken pole as JVKP now disconnected. I don't think he's meant to do that. And wow, one thing, we might need to try and get him back in. Because we don't want to see any drivers being out of the race. Chris, your pulses now as I'm going to go through your top 5. You've got Chris in the Ferrari P1, Motor Silver in the McLaren P2, Mint Kestrel P3, splitting the McLarens as he takes the second row with Mo's teammate Wave Dre, and Mint's teammate takes P5. B29, Mint's teammate takes P5. Very, very nicely done from these drivers. As now we need to see how they will do in the sprint race. And if one driver may be able to get the jump on Chris, hopefully one driver might be able to get past Chris, because Chris is known to be a very quick driver, as we've seen 5/10 quicker than the nearest driver behind him. That is very surprising, as I'm now going to try and get JVKP back in before the start of this sprint race. as we now look at the tyres picked. All drivers going for mediums. But if you did not set a medium laps, I believe you will have fresh mediums, as I say that the only EGC goes onto the hards. I think we'll see a lot of teammates, not only teammates, a lot of drivers switch to those hard combat tyres, but so far we have one on it right now. As, yeah, most drivers look to just be, and as I say that, Wave Dre goes into hard combat tyres. Mindmaster also into the hards. Some drivers start to show their strategies. They are trying to go to the end of the race. JVKP now gets back in, so we go to 3, 4, 5 red lights. And it's lights out, and away we go for the Las Vegas Grand Prix. Chris doesn't get a good enough start to block off Motor Silver, but Mo does have the inside. Chris has to leave space. Still too wide coming through turn 1 now. But Chris looks to have kept the lead of this race. Mink Kestrel is able to defend from Wave Dre. CJ already up into P9. Michael Lewis dropping down into P16. NIFO mate open all the way up into P14. And CJ overtaking his teammate JVKP. Sadly dropping to the back. Two instances. Now Kevin Cowell is at the back. Something has happened there between him. Varga makes it past NAFO to take back P14 as we now go on board with our sprint leader Chris. He had a very nice start and is able to defend off Motor Silver behind. And hopefully he'll be able to pull a second gap before DRS activates the next lap as Varga and NAFO is now still battling. JVKP looking up to make this position. He's sadly lost to his disconnection. As you can see, Chris is just as AJ and Tax Collector side by side right now, still side by side as Phantom Fox now overtakes the Red Bull driver. And you can look at Chris, he's starting to fall back massively. 7-4, he's about to pull ahead, sorry. Massively, Motion Solves has to fall behind. Phantom Fox now gets past Tax Collector. Michael Lewis makes it past Varga. Very, very nicely done. You can already see moves starting to happen as a lot of moves have been done there. NIFO and AJ Curtis side by side. You can start to see. I think that's Phantom Fox. Yeah, Phantom Fox starts right behind us. There is 3 wide now. We're about to hit 3 wide. AJ's getting overtaken every single round by all the drivers. Very, very. Oh, AJ lost 4 positions in one corner. Oh my days. I think he tries taking it around the outside. That's NAFO. NAFO's been spun around and he takes out J. Oh my days. NAFO spun around, hits multiple drivers. I think that was Tax Collector smacking into him, but I sadly cannot see. As we now watch JVKP looking to try and make a move down onto Michael Louise. Old rivals in F2 last season, battling it out now in this F1 division. JVKP having to back out, but it's still on the hunt for that Haas driver. We now watch going back board with Motu Silva. He's trying to push hard to catch back up to Chris. He is within DRS range, but the DRS activation point isn't till further down the track. If Chris can get good enough exit, which he sadly doesn't, Motu Silva will be in DRS range of the Ferrari driver coming now onto this back straight. Both very low on ERS, nothing to burn. And it's just me Mo trying to save his DRS while gaining on Chris with DRS activated. It's Epic the Animal. Makes past his teammate of CJ. JVKP finally gets the move done on Michael Lewis. If you look to position changes, the top 9 haven't changed positions until CJ up 4. Phantom Fox and Tax down 1. Varga up to 4. AJ up 2. JVKP down 2. Kevin Cal down 5. And Michael Lewis down 1. It's definitely been one hectic start, especially if you're at the back of the grid for this sprint race. As Mo is trying his best to keep up with Mink Kestrel. JVKP now gets the move done on AJ. As there is a yellow flag now, I think that is CJ. CJ has spun, overtaken 2 drivers now. Tax Varga now also looking to try and make a move done, unable to. Michael Louise now also overtakes AJ. The F2 drivers struggling to keep up with the pace of the F1 drivers, hoping to keep with them though, as Mo is dropped out of DRS range of Chris. Which is going to put him in prime position to get overtaken by Mink Kestrel, who is right behind him. Wave Dre's also dropped out of the DRS range of Mint Kestrel, which means Mint Kestrel won't have to worry about any drivers behind him. He'll just have to worry about getting DRS and sending it right by the McLaren driver. Takes the inside line. Motor tries to defend the inside. Forceman around the outside, unable to get it done. B29 also does the same as his teammate. Overtakes McLaren's. Motusova locks up, coming into the sharp left-hander, and that's lost a big chunk of time from Mint Kestrel. That's actually DRS range. He's out of DRS range now, as CJ Varga now spun. Varga spun out. He makes contact with CJ. Varga now down into P17. It's Mint Kestrel's now trying to push to get past Chris. JVKP gets the move done on CJ. CJ trying to look to make a move back done. Sends it down the inside. Makes contact, spins a bit. JVKP's able to keep position. A very, very risky move there done by CJ. Could have left them both down very bad. Mind Master makes a move past Dino now with DRS. Epic Animal looking to try and make move past both these drivers. As Varga is spun again. As Mint Kestrel is close, very, very close to Chris. As I'd like to point out, these point systems are different than the IRL F1. A win is 12 points here in TFR. These points could be very beneficial to Mint Kestrel if he finishes ahead of Motusova and maybe even ahead of Chris. But Chris is looking very pacey here in this red Ferrari. Mint Kestrel does have DRS, but no ERS to try and get a move done. He is gaining though. Lots of very much. He baits a move, does not try and get something done, just trying to save ERS till the next lap. As now he's going to try and stay with Chris for another lap, as B29 has Wave Dre right in, no, sorry, yeah, as B29 has got Motusova right in his sights. Epic Animal makes it past Dino. Michael Louise also makes it past CJ just a bit early on. As we now go back to focus on the leaders, Mint Kestrel looking to keep up with Chris. That DRS is very helpful, especially down the strip. Mint Kestrel's just going to be looking to stay with, save that ERS for the final straight. As Varga now dives into the pit, he's retired. He's had a lot of incidents in this race, and he has decided to give up. Can't blame the man. Very unlucky so far. Yeah, Mint Kestrel tries to save ERS, has saved a good amount, up to 40% now, but Chris is up in those rate 60 range. So the question is, was that battery save enough for the Aston Martin driver to get a move done on the Ferrari? His DRS gets activated now. Chris actually saved his ERS and now is burning. Mint Kestrel burned everything he had early on. Still looks for the inside. Chris decides to let him have it. Mint Kestrel rides the curb, unable to get something done. Motusova makes a move past B29. Wave Tray almost gets overtaken by the... No. As Kevin Carl makes it past CJ now. That is very nicely done from the pass driver. As Michael Louise makes past JVKP, back the battle for 1 point in this sprint race is on. JVKP looking to make a recovery after disconnecting and starting very far back. As you can see, if we go back to our leaders, Mint Kestrel is slowly starting to drop off from Chris, and you start to see a gap beginning to slowly form. Mint Kestrel's going to want to push hard if he wants to stay in range of that Ferrari. B29 in a, sorry about that, a McLaren sandwich. It's the only you see watching behind. There's AJ gets a 3-second time penalty for corner cutting. Very unlucky from him in the sprint race. We were only on lap 6 of 9. And Wave Dre ride the curb. If you look at Wave Dre's ERS, he saved a lot more compared to the drivers around him. But we need to focus back on the leader as Mint Kestrel tries to catch up to Chris, but he does not have the error saved again. as B29 now makes the move done on Motusova. Motusova looks to try and get back past the Aston Martin driver, but unable to get it done. Epic Animal makes it past Mindmaster. You can definitely see those mediums start to show their pace early on. JVKP now gets past Michael Luis, but Motusova tries to look down the inside, baits him down the inside of B29. B29 does not fall for it at all. And we are back now for a massive battle for P3. This is 10 points in that you can get for finishing third. This is big points for the World Constructors Championship as Motusova and Wave Drake moves on. Oh, Wave Drake spun Motusova. His team, Wave Drake just spun his teammates. JVKP's also spun down into P16. Two drivers spinning at once. Motusova will not be happy with that, and now he's got the only EGC pressing his diffuser. Motusova and Wave Drake have had some arguments and incidents before, but nothing that serious as taking your own teammate out. That is not what you want to be seeing in this race here today, especially with how much McLaren are trying their best to win the World Constructors Championship. They have two quick drivers and are trying their hardest, but it won't help if you've got one of your teammates taking you out. Motusova's now fallen out of DRS range of B29, and the only EGC does have DRS, but not the ERS. Epic Animal, on the other hand, does have ERS and DRS on the V-carb ahead of him. As Chris gets over, as Chris and Min Castro go too wide now. Apologies for not seeing that. But Min Castro looking for a move back past the Ferrari driver. Chris really trying to use all the space he has, using that he's ahead. That rule for his favour as Min Castro sends it down the inside of Chris. A little bit of contact, goes a bit, both drivers go a bit deep. Epic Animal makes past the only EGC now, too wide, both these drivers now. As Min Castro gets the move done on the, what's it called, on the Ferrari drivers. We go back to the back of the grid as JVKP looks to get a switch back on CJ. A little bit of contact from AJ there, no harm done as JVKP will have DRS now on. Oh, CJ smacks into the wall. Not what you want to be seeing. And JVKP's actually going to save ERS and wait for a move to be done. But look at this, back at the front, Chris has a lot more ERS. Then, oh my, I'm sorry about this. Then Min Kestrel. So he might easily get a move done on the Aston Martin driver. Question is, will he get it done quick enough? Because Min Kestrel has done what Chris is doing, saving his ERS until they activate ERS. And now as soon as that DRS flap opens, Min Kestrel burns as Chris was saved. Chris is looking for a move. He's looking for a move on the final lap. He knows how he's playing very strategically as JVKP gets overtaken by AJ. As I say that, JVKP gets to move right back on the Red Bull driver. As Mindmaster now gets past the only EGC. The only EGC starts to drop positions. Michael Luis gets past his teammate Kevin Cow, his reserve teammate of Kevin Cow, as they are both trying to salvage a point for this Haas team. Looking like good points. Oh, CJ loses a bit there. No, nothing done. We now have to focus back on the leaders. Min Kestrel's going to want to save all the ERS he can on Chris, so he can keep that lead of the race coming on to the onto the back straight, onto the strip. Yeah, there you go. That's the name. Say a bit too late. Wave Drake, Motusova's actually caught up now to his teammate, who did just take him out. That might not be a very clean battle from those two. As Chris takes a different line to Min Kestrel, throws the car over the curb, lucky not to get at least a warning there for corner cutting. Very, very nicely done from Chris not to risk anything. As Chris now uses all the ERS he has, sends it around the outside. Min Kestrel can't do anything about it. Chris is now leading the races. Now Wave Drain makes a move past B29. Motusova trying to look to also get past, sends it down the inside of B29, unable to get the move done. As we now focus back on Min Kestrel. Chris burning all the ERS he has. as Chris will cross the line to win the sprint race at the Las Vegas Grand Prix. Mick Castle's third, Wade Drake, Mick Castle's second, Wade Drake P third, P3, Motu's over, gets past B29, 4 P4, B29 finished P5, the Animal P6, Mindmaster P7, the only UGC P8, Dino P9, Phantom Fox crosses the line P10, Tax Collector P11, Michael Luis P12, Kelvin Cal P13, CJ has a bunch of time and crosses the line P14, JVKP P15, and AJ P16 as NAFO is far behind, and it we now need to wait for NAFO's car to cross the line. What an eventful sprint race and a massively clean and good battle from the two between your first and second place finishers. But one drama to go ahead of is the McLaren's. Wave Drake taking out his teammate, and he actually does gain a position from that. We now go to position changes. Oh, wrong bit, my bad. Wave Drake actually gained a position. He qualified P4. He gained a position after taking his teammate out. But yeah, that's very surprising. As we have a look at your top three, Chris finishes P1, Minkastro barely behind P2, Wave Drake P3, Motorsilver P4, B29 P5, Epic Animal P6, Mindmaster P7, the only EGC P down into P8, Dino down into P9, Phantom Fox and Tax to keep their positions of P10 and 11. Michael Luis rounds off the final point scoring positions of P12. Very nicely done. That is a brilliant sprint race and very hectic filled sprint race. That is one race some drivers might not remember. So we now start qualifying for the main race. 90 drivers in now, as Samad has joined Phantom Fox in the Alpine. Another reserve driver here. Sorry about that, as we now start the qualifying for the main race. As I said earlier, Samad reserving for Alpine. Now we almost have a full grid, and this will be a very exciting qualifying here today. Thank you all for coming in for this race. We have some drivers trying to prove that they do not need to be demoted down into the F2 division. Some drivers battling for the lead of the Drivers' World Championships. Some drivers battling for the lead, for the winning the Constructors' World Championships. Battles are happening left, right and centre here. And the question is, how long will it take before we see more drama happening? Both McLarens already beginning to argue. So we began to argue earlier during the break in between the sprint race and qualifying. Now, both saying the other one's at fault for their incident, but only time will tell if it does get reported, as I believe actually, let me check for you now. I think McLaren are still leading the World Constructors Championships. No, they're not. Aston Martin has the lead of the World Constructors Championships by 7 points, so at least McLaren drivers do not want to be arguing if they want to battle for the lead of the World Constructors Championships. Mercedes not far behind on 100, We've got Aston Martin at the lead of the World Constructors Championship with 356 points. Then we have the McLaren just behind them, 7 points behind, 349, and Mercedes behind them both with 317 points, only 39 points off Aston Martin. It's all up for grabs for these 4 teams, as the rest, sadly, I don't believe are close enough to get something done. That means we have 6 drivers going to be battling it out with each other, looking to try and get as many points as they can. The question is, how will teamwork fit into this? As we know, CJ and Epic are good teammates and good friends as alone. B29 and Kestrel, good teammates and very close with each other, but the problem is both McLarens aren't seeming that fond of each other, which might ruin their chances of winning the World Constructors Championship, sorry. Dino sits the first lap of this qualifying with a 131.3. Actually, a very, very nice lap for the Williams drivers. NIFO sits a 132.0 on medium compound tyres. As Chris actually on a lap right now, as he's now going to cross the line on those medium compound tyres to set a 130.8. Wow! What? Ferrari driver on medium, he is on 5/10 quicker than a stock runner behind him. Still a very, very nice lap from Dino, but compared to Chris, everybody will look slow. Sadly, that's how it is here in this top position. Michael Lewis invalidates before crossing the line. He won't be happy with that. Both of the drivers start on a lap now. CJ and B29, 2 old teammates on a lap now. Some drivers on out laps. There's Chris is slow in front. Hopefully, not trying to impede B29. Maybe even trying to give his, trying to give him a tow. Look, see now, Chris. Yeah, actually been able to win. See what if Chris is actually trying to help. No, Chris is not going to give B29 any sort of return. Not going to give competitors any sort of an advantage. You watch B29's. He now throws the car on the curb, trying to hit that as perfect as possible. Very, very nicely done. We now watch him cross the line and hit a 130.7, 1/10 quicker than Chris. Very, very nicely done from the Aston Martin driver. We look around. Kevin Carroll's actually about to finish his lap time. He goes for a 131.8. Very respectable lap time from him. CJ goes to 132.2 behind NIFO. He's now going to pull B29's teammate of Mint Castle. He is on a lap now and just about to round the second sector. As he goes and goes purple sector 2. Very nicely done from the Aston Martin driver. And qualifying, they've got nothing to worry about. Don't need to worry about being overtaken. Don't need to worry about any DRS saving. As now, more interesting, we'll see how much Kirby will take. Final Fox with a 131.5, nice lap by him. Now, all we have to do is watch Aston Martin driver cross the line. Will he go quicker than his teammate? He does! 3/10 quicker than Kestrel goes than his teammate of B29, a 130.4. Very, very nicely done from the Aston Martin driver. Now we jump aboard Motu Silver, who did just invalidate his lap. And we actually jump on board with Samad now, who has just jumped into the race after missing the sprint race. How will he do in this Alpine? People with Samad. Now Wade Dre also starts his lap time. Mo on a second lap time now on, but those softs are a bit worn. Means he won't get as much grip out of them as he normally would. AJ goes to 130.0. Baru is a 131.3. JKP goes to the 131.4. Drivers start to get their lap times in now. We now only have 8 drivers not setting any lap time. They're on track with multiple drivers. Only but 5 drivers ready to set a lap time. As who's that? My master is a 131.2. Very nicely done from the Ferrari driver. Stay on board with Samad. Still flag sector 1. Bar focus. Where will Samad come? P4 130.0. Very nicely done from the reserve driver. We jump on board with Wave Dre now. Wave Dre now rounding the final corner and goes P2 130.729, barely quicker than B29. Very, very nicely done. This we now jump aboard with his teammate Motu Silva, who's also about to cross the line. Will he jump ahead of his teammates? No, he will not. A 130.9 puts him in P5 provisionally. Still room to improve. Now jump on board with the only driver out on track who hasn't. No, sorry, one of the only drivers not to set a lap on track yet. He is looking to show that he has pace here around Vegas. He had a very nice sprint qualifying. Sadly, unable to convert it into that P6 that he qualified in during the sprint. Had a few incidents, sadly unable to capitalize on it, but hopefully he can improve on it now, burning his ERS down the straight. His Phantom goes up to a 131.3. Nicely done from him. We start seeing some drivers drop down the order as the track gets grippier. Really just throws the car in now, putting the power down. Now rounds the final corner for a 6th place, 130.9. Oh, so close behind Motu Silva. Nicely done from the V-Carb driver. JFKP is definitely not going to be like being shown up by his teammate. We now jump forward with Chris, who's invalidated his lap time on those soft compound tires. He invalidates his lap. He is still going though, looking to see what time he would have set, and that would have been a 130.1. That would have been provisional pole for the Ferrari driver. Now he has something to do. He can either keep burning his tyres or save his ERS. It's definitely very risky. It's right now. Tax collector Michael Lee still not set a lap time. Tax collector coming now down into the final corner, so walks up a little bit there as Williams now puts down the ERS, put the throttle to the floor, letting it all out as he comes and crosses the line. P15 at 131.9, nicely done from the reserve driver. Our final driver not to that lap time, Michael Louise. He is looking to make up. He's probably looking to improve on his race. We now watch him round the final few corners, burning that ERS. He now runs the final corner, sets a 131.8, takes P15 away from Tax Collector. Nicely done from him. As we now go on more no driver out on a lap. Chris is just now taking his car into the pits. Chris is now coming into the pits. Most drivers will now put on some new, fresh, soft compound tyres to set their final laps in. And this will be the question: is how good are you with these grippy and new tyres? Are you quick enough to keep up with everybody around? Because what's going on here? You have to give me a second, please. That's what I'm looking for. Alright. Yeah, most drivers now not out on track. B29 actually out on track. He's looking to improve on his time. Maybe hoping to get 2 laps in as he crosses the line. Takes P2, 106. 130.6. Takes P2 away from Wave Dre by a tenth of a second. Very nicely done from the Aston Martin drivers. Mick Aston also starts the lap. Both Aston Martin drivers going out early. Very, very surprising. There's Dino and AJ, the only 2 drivers. And sorry, Mo, I do say, forget about him, my fault. Out on track, these drivers are looking to get laps in before the rest of the drivers come out. AJ improves to ahead of CJ with a 132.1. The F2 driver is looking very well. As I mentioned, F2 drivers, most F2 drivers are actually doing very well in qualifying, showing good pace and breaking into those 131s. Very nicely done. And if you look at the gap from 13th to 14th, it is 4/10 of a second. That is very, these ways, it's surprising. JVKP, if he improves by a couple tenths, he's up into that P7, P6 position. He is looking very, very nice here. We now have to go back on board with our race, as well as our person on position of pole. As you look at Beast Ryan, he is giving his teammate the toe. B29 maybe started his run a bit too far. CJ's not going too wide with somebody. Sorry about that, that threw me off. Nick Kestrel will now round the final corner and is beginning to push his Aston Martin across the line now. That is a pole position improvement, provisional pole with a 130.3. How will the drivers around him react? We've still got Wave Dre, Chris, and Motilva, who is on a lap now, 2/10 up in the second sector and is looking to get a bit of a toe off these slow drivers. Hopefully he does not get held up during his lap. He still has multiple drivers behind, including his teammate, who may purposely be going slow. Just maybe hold up. As I say that, Wave Dre does begin his lap time. He is now starting his lap. Motu Silva. Wait, Wave Dre's on an invalidated lap. That must be very confusing. Motu Silva improves to a 130.7. Dead. That is P3 as Motilva does the respectable thing and pulls out the weight for Varga starting his lap. As we now jump on board with some Epic the Animal, I'd say. One of the World Drivers' Championships contenders after losing his teammate Min Kestrel to a swap between him and CJ. He is looking to carry Mercedes to a World Drivers' Championship. Loses the rail a bit on exit. Now throws his Mercedes around the corners as Wave Drake's now retired. I think he was unable to improve on his lap time. And now we just have to wait as Chris is also on a lap time. He just started his lap. That's one driver we need to keep an eye on, but our focus right now is Epic the Animal. Somebody just improved. I could not tell you who. I think that's Dino improved to P2. No, Phantom. I think it's Phantom improved to P11. We now check the Animal across the line. That is a P2, 130.55. Very nicely done from the Mercedes driver. Don't know why I'm going backwards. Chris is up here. We're going to jump on board with Chris up 110. Now, and that is very Chris is actually may get a tow from his teammate My Master also on a lap. Chris might be getting held up a little bit. Some drivers are now complaining about being blocked. David KP improves to P12 with a 31.2. Very nicely done from him. We stay on board with Chris now, who is looking to cross the line now. Pole position for Chris. That's a 130.2. Nicely done. That is very nicely done from Chris. As that is a very nice qualifying, and Chris takes pole position here. Samad improves. Sorry, I missed that. Samad improves to P3. So sorry about that. I'm too busy looking at other stuff. And that is very nicely done. As your top 5 is Chris, P1. Min Kestrel locks out the front row with him, P2. Samad and Epic will take the second row, P3 and full, B29. Rounds off your top 5 in the Aston Martin. Very nicely done. As this is going to be one race. Remember, 25 laps around Las Vegas. They've already done 9 during the sprint. But the question is, how will they compare their pace in the race as we now look at their strategies as they begin to pick? This is going to be one thing if you get your strategy wrong, or the rest of the grid chooses something different. This could be the end of it. As two drivers you don't normally see to be far down is Wave Dre and Motilva in P7 and 6. Definitely surprising as Wave Dre invalidated his lap. Motilva may have improved a bit too early. As drivers started to fall ahead of him. David Master improves to P9. A driver who was said to be getting dropped back down into F2 is up into P9. Very nicely done from him. AJ sadly at the back of the grid. CJ P18, Kevin Cal P17, NIFO P16, Tax, both Williams P14 and 15, Michael Louise P13, was that 5 places ahead of his reserve teammates. JVK P12, Varga P11, Phantom P10, My Master P8, 9. As I say that, the red lights come on. 3, 4, 5 red lights. And his lights on, away we go. Very wheel spinning start from Chris. He begins to try and hold off Min Kestrel. Min Kestrel is right there though. Chris tries to take the long way around the outside. Does get it done. Epic Animal makes it past Samad. There's a yellow flag already out on track. Motilva's already down into... No, that's a bit of a lag there. Motilva has got a bit of a leadable glitch. And Wave Drain now gets past P29. Motilva actually in was at P5, I believe. Sadly, leaderboard glitch, not showing his actual position. B29 tries to get around the outside of Wave Dre. Wave Dre also now trying to make a look down on his teammate, which over Dago gets fixed back into the position he was meant to be put in. Smart loses out to Epic the Animal. B29 makes past Wave Dre, JVKP, and Phantom Fox side by side now. JVK may have forced Phantom Fox off track there, as every driver's on the medium compound tyre, all probably on the same strategy apart from Varga and NIFO. We're going a bit of an alternate strategy from those two. I think Kestrel will start to try and stick with Chris, as you can start to see a big train, DRS train beginning to form. All drivers keeping in line, no instance as Michael Louise has Varga right up his diffuser looking to get a move done. TJ's got AJ on his inside. Kevin Cowles dropped all the way down to last place like he did in the sprint, and instant causes him to spin. As Mink Kestrel now sticking with Chris very nicely, so is the Animal. Samad staying there as well. Dino gets overtaken by Michael Louise. Mochi Silver's improved to P5. B29, I believe, has dropped one position. Yes, he has. Down to P6. Wave Dre keeps his P7, as he's got the only GC right behind him. The only GC again not having a lot of VRS. And NAFO gets overtakes AJ. Tax overtakes Varga. Michael Louise overtakes two drivers at once up into P13. As Varga now gets past Tax Collector. And now you start to see the pace begins to fall off. You only just see right on the diffuser of Wave Dre unable to get it done. Tax and Varga still side by side. AJ gets past NIFO with that DRS, but NIFO is still looking for a move. Squeezes AJ, but AJ hits the wall on his own accord. Wave Dre only just see too wide now. The only just see trying to keep around the outside. He's still there. Wave Dre leaving space. Gets the move. Keeps his position, but he's now dropped out DRS range to B29. But he's falling his way back into it, burning all of his ERS. As Mink Kestrel and Chris. It's not going to be a big battle with that DRS between the top two, because everything else starts to drop off a little bit. NIFO gets overtaken by Kevin Cal. I think he's lost the car a bit. Now Mink Kestrel activates DRS and is saving. He isn't trying to get a move done on Chris now. He's waiting, biding his time. The only GC now gets past Wave Dre. No, he doesn't. Still too wide. Wave Dre forces the only GC to leave space. And that is Wave Dre keeping his position very aggressively. My Master gets a brilliant exit though. Into around the outside of the only GC. That's a move done and dusted. JVKP now trying to make a move done on his teammate. Two drivers, two separate liveries. As they still are too wide now. Still, JVKP loses the rear a bit. Keeps it. Dino tries to spin around the outside of Phantom. Still there around the outside. Phantom makes a bit of contact with the wall. DRS open. Dino gets the move done. JVKP he's now got two drivers under threat. Dino trying to take it around the outside of the Chinese driver. Oh, Dino barely towards JVKP, loses it. And has to dive out the way, not trying to hit Dino. Mike Louise now gets Phantom Fox. We have a massive four-way battle here. Phantom hits JVKP a bit and forces him to give space, as JVKP has said to be lacking a bit. As Phantom and JVKP make contact, smashing into the wall. JVKP's dropped all the way down, not to P18. He's not going to be very happy, as he's had a race full of unluckiness. He now really makes a move past the Red Bull of AJ. What a race so far, as Mink Kestrel is very, very close, within 0.2 of a second of Chris, as the only GC's disconnected. He's disconnected from the race, and sadly I do not have him added. Mink Kestrel gets the move done on Chris. No, he doesn't. Chris down the inside still. Mink Kestrel gets the exit, but Chris has the ERS and gets the move done on the aftermarket driver. As Epic Animal, I am so behind. Oh my god. I've zoned out there, my fault. Epic Animal gets the move done on Chris. And Mink Kestrel now takes the lead of the race. It's looking like Chris now looks down the inside. Without DRS, he is pretty vulnerable. He was vulnerable there, as AJ really picks. Billy, he drops down to 17. Chris takes back the lead, but they are still too wide. Epic Animal sends it down in that corner and is able to get the move done. That's a very nicely done move done from the Mercedes driver. I apologise again for not commentating on that. I got very distracted trying to get a driver back into this race. As Castro's now just watching, he is now going to try and look to maybe even get a double overtake done on these drivers. He does not have the ERS available. Every animal is just trying not to get overtaken by Chris, but Chris has a big speed difference, 220 miles an hour. Chris peaks out there as Mink Kestrel makes a bit of contact with every animal there, misses his braking points. So Mad gets past B29 now, still too wide. B29 makes a bit of little contact, more contact. B29's in the wall as Dino's up into P10. Oh, CJ forces Tax off track and Tax is off all the way down to P13. JKP already recovering up into P15, getting past Kevin Cow. Nicely done from him. Now with 4 drivers ahead, JKP's looking to try and get a move done on them. JKP the final driver in the points position. So is he Phantom Fox loses it. Not Phantom Fox, Tax loses a bit. JKP makes contact with him. And watch Mink Castro still roundly defeated with these 2 drivers. He's just watching Epic Animal trying to fight his way back to Chris as B29. He's trying to fight his way back into the DRS train of the drivers ahead, and he's got a chasing some Mad behind. As Varga is actually doing very well to be on these hard combat tires. He will be out on track a lot longer than his competitors. As if we jump on board with Tax now, actually, he's looking to maybe get a move done. NAFO overtakes the AI of the only UGC. Is actually where aren't we focused on leaders? Epic Animal trying to catch up to Chris. So is Mink Kestrel. But they both don't have the pace. NIFO gets a 10-second time penalty for speeding. Not speeding, for corner cutting. 10-second time penalty, a 3-second time penalty for corner cutting. Oh my days, I apologise. Something's going on with me. CJ gets past Varga now. As Chris is still keeping his lead. Very cautious. He's not giving his lead by much though. JVKP makes contact with that. Oh, JVKP makes contact with Kevin Cal. And he's round. This has not been a good race for the Chinese driver here around Vegas. As I can, there we go, finally changed cameras. Does he have damage? Yes, he does. He does have damage and he's diving into the pit lane now. He won't be very happy with that, and that might be a retirement in the pits for him. We don't know though. I don't think so. He might be boxing for new hard combat tyres, but I think the hards will last the entire 20 laps remaining around Vegas. Maybe they definitely risk it going for medium, going off the mediums to those hards. It looks maybe not like the right move from the Alpine driver. But he's trying to get a massive undercut on the drivers behind him. The drivers ahead of him, sorry. There's definitely going to be a lot of reports for the stewards to go through. Enough to take back on the leader. Go back to our leader, Chris. Wait to see if a move is done on him. B29, I guess the move's done on Samad. They are still battling those two. Not really trying to catch up. As the race is starting to die down, not die down, but starting to cool down a bit. All drivers are finding their pace, finding their positions. And it's now just up to how quick you can be as the only UGC's AI overtakes NIFO. Bit of battling coming from these because the NIFO gets another 3-second time penalty. He is not going to race he wants to remember. He's penalties already. He's the only driver on the grid, on the track right now to have a time penalty. Yeah, I think it's into form. NIFO retires. That is in the pits. He's retired in the pits now. Yeah, he is giving up. That is both out. That is the start about the race. And now we are down to 18 drivers here on track. All in completely different areas. All with a completely different pace. These 18 drivers will be looking to try and scrape points, as now there's only 3 positions on the track where you will not finish and not be in the points. So really up to how good your pace and recovery is. CJ is looking to be overtaken by Phantom Fox. Phantom Fox with a lot more ERS. Before DRS even gets activated, he's already passed. And now with DRS, Phantom Fox just confirms that move even more, pulling far ahead of Mercedes driver. There's now Phantom Fox, Varga in the sights. Kevin Cal gets a move done on Tax Collector. Tax not looking to give up that easily, but it has to as Kevin goes a bit deep, forcing actually back out. Now, Wave Dre making a bit of contact with Samad, spinning him a bit. That is not very good as he's already been involved in it. So we're spinning his teammate. You can see the gap start to fall ahead. It's not the DRS range beginning to form. One from P4 all the way up to P1, P5 all the way down to P8. Michael Lee in a nice little world of his own. Him and Dino, a nice gap. The people behind, if Phantom gets past Vargo, he is on a hunt to get moves done. Now focus back on the fight for the lead. I think I don't think I've had DRS range of Chris. That's not going to be good for anybody. Well, Chris is going to be loving that if he can pull DRS range on the driver behind him. Mechanism's playing very risky, cutting that corner that much. That could lead to a time penalty dealt to him by the in-game stewards. Which we're going to love DRS on Chris. Winchester was close. Winchester might try and get a move done. But it looks like his pace advantage a couple of miles an hour isn't helping enough. As they now all in the final corners. Chris smacks the wall, loses a bit there. And now he's going to have to try and burn his DRS to keep a good gap from the drivers behind. Mick Kestrel closer than ever on his old teammate. Sends it down the inside. Oh, it's still too wide now. Almost a bit of contact. Mick Kestrel gets the move done. B29, Samad and My Master all diving to the pits. They think their mediums are gone. They want new tyres. All onto hard compound tyres. Yeah, so the only guys who pit is off. Those 3 now. Let's just go. How far away are some drivers from the rest of the grid? You see how far away JP is from everyone else. I thought they talking about the pit. Far ahead is Varga now gets past Phantom Fog. See those mediums start to die off already. Back to who is slowly starting to lose his gap. He's not showing very good from this tyre wear. And that's not yet seen. Bad exit. Done. If Mick Kestrel had the DRS, he doesn't. But neither does Chris. Dino Pig's disconnected as well. That's not good. He is in. I'm also going to see if I can try and get him back in. Lose it. I think Kestrel's not close enough to get a move done on Chris, but he's still very close. They both dive into the pits now. Does Epic Animal follow suit? He does. Motornova doesn't. That's why Dre jumps into the pits. Wait, Dre also doesn't jump into the pits. So we have front 3 diving into the pits now for new hard combat tyres. The man getting 3-second tyre penalty for corner cutting. Now where will they emerge? Will they emerge in front? I think Varga might come out ahead of them. Might be ahead of them as they all leave the pits. Chris leaves the pits now. Yes, they do. Varga is P3 with both Clarence ahead of him, and now he's got a target Chris right behind him. As Varga can try and fight it. Trying to a little bit, but Chris gets something done and that. Ooh, a little bit of risky there from Chris. And Phantom Fox can't click the cat and down to the pick now. Chris. Castle's also going to get anything from Varga. That's the thing, difference between all of them and tires. You don't want to be pushed. Now gets passed down to AI, so does some mad. He actually really can fix it on the board medium. or he needs to be in now for the AI, TJ, and both the every animal pouncing on a mistake by Varga takes Pack 2 away from him. And now TJ, Varga also needs to pay, he's on all hard time. My master gets past Dino's AI now. You see how slow these AI are compared to some of these drivers. As much as Solver dives to the pits now, does Wave Trade, both McLarens decide to pit on the same lap. That is risky. As Chris is now putting 1.6 gap behind him. Very, very nicely done. Very nice done. Muchi Solver will emerge from the pits behind Varga in P5. Wave J will emerge P10. He must have got held up a bit in those pits. As Mustafa already gets the move done on Varga. Varga not looking to defend at all. CJ pits him hard. Comes out P14. Wave J makes it past Dino's AI. Up into P9. Tax actually comes out ahead of CJ. AJ retires in the pits as Jibkippy gets the overtake done on them. We go back to our leader, Chris is holding a nice 1.4 second gap to Minkestel, and Minkestel's going to the same to Epic Dano behind him. Epic Dano's put a 1.7 second gap to Mo. Nice and relaxed. Vargas still in P5. He is doing very well. He knows he can't pit for another couple laps because he will not last the rest of the race. But if Vargas just not get DRS on this straight, he'll be up. Be overtaken by P2AI. Dino gets back in. Varga does have DRS, but B29's run out of DRS and is still full burning. He sends down the inside. B29 gets the move done. Varga doesn't even try and defend it at all, and that is the move done for the Samad. Varga as well. Xbox also gets the overtake on Kevin Cal. Dino gets overtaken by Phantom. His AI losing more positions now. Basically 1.5 second gap now. Dino now finally dives into the pits. AVK, you like when AVK moves done after spinning multiple times, and I think having this with Kevin Cow. One thing we do not want happening is between eyes now right on the diffuser Mochi Solver. Looking to try to make a move done on the McLaren driver. But the problem is Mo's on a lot fresher hards. If Mo has the pace on B29, B29 will not have the ability to get past. Mo has the ERS, but he will not have the DRS on his opponent Samad closer than ever on Varga. Varga might just let Samad by, as he knows he doesn't want to burn his tyres up. Fighting some person, he pulls up to the side. Samad gets the move done, overtake activated, and Varga is now dropped down into P7. But Varga does have DRS. Varga unwillingly gave himself DRS, and now he's looking right back on Samad. He lifts, does not try and go for the overtake. Varga is playing very safe with his tyres here. First up with a 2.6 second gap, goes fastest on the hard compound tyres. Kevin Cal overtakes Tax Collector, that has no intent of defending, staying on non-ERS mode. As Kevin Cal is really pushing to try and stay ahead of Tax. A bit of lag for me there. And Tax is siege. Oh, Kevin Cal makes a bit of a mistake there. Yeah, that's going to leave Tax in a prime position to try and make an overtake back. As we focus back on the front group, Chris is pulled in the 3.3 second gap now, but Epic Animal right on the diffuser of Minkestrel. This might be a brilliant battle for P2 here. This B29 is also on the diffuser of Motu Solver. We could see two battles at once here. As we jump into watch Minkestrel fly by. Epic Animal also flies by. When will Epic Animal have DRS activated? That's the question. Opens the flap to have DRS, but that extra speed is not enough to get a move done. B29 also not having the ERS to get a move done, so that's only a few seconds behind. My master was a smooth pass done on Varga. Varga again not defending it. He looks like very safe, very cautious. Wave right down into P9. Still using the recovery drive. Up ahead, Tax Collector has DRS on what's it called? Kevin Cow is very close to the won't get anything. JKP down in P15. He will get a point if he does finish this race. JKP plays it nice. Careful, not trying to get any time penalties. Diana's actually back in the race now. She's looking for a run position. She's lost. What would benefit these drivers right now is a safety car. But I do not think that will happen with how compact, with how split this grid is. Epic Alpha is actually very close. Wave Drain now finally gets past Varga. Epic Alpha is very close to Minkestrel. Not getting the move done though, as he is still not close enough, but has a lot of VRS and might be able to get a move coming down into turn 1. Epic Animal is burning very hard and has a run on the Aston Martin driver. Slipstream everything. Epic Animal tries to look round the outside, brakes, tries to go for the switchback. Now Tax Slick to get some move done on Kevin Cow. Epic Animal is on him to get a move done, but has a lot more ERS than Minkestrel, which could benefit them a lot. Varga finally jumps into the pits on lap 15. He's going to go about 10 laps on those medium compound tyres. Means this will be very surprising for JVKP, as Varga was only able to do 15 laps on his hards. JVKP is already done. Oh, JVKP spun again into the wall. Oh my days. And he's lost his entire front wing. Oh my days. JVKP's having a very unlucky race here today. 2 instances that were not his fault, and I'm guessing he's just locked up and missed his breaking point, or he's done something to lose his entire front wing. So he now comes into the pits. And that might be the end of the race for JVKP. This is not going to race Carvel once, remember, but JVKP's not retiring yet. Still staying out on track. New front wing on for JVKP. And he's not left. JVKP hasn't left. Wow. Epic Animal's closer than ever. Oh no, JVKP does just retire. Epic Animal does get the move done on Minkestrel. As Chris is now just the gap's dropped to Chris from Chris now 2 seconds. And I think that, yeah, JVKP's now left session. That is what last week was probably see JVKP this week. And hopefully we'll see him again on Monday for next week's race here in the F1 division. As Minkestrel is now looking to try and get moved past back on Epic Animal. They both know that they probably won't get P1, as Chris has already pulled 2.5 seconds ahead, as I mentioned about the gap. But yeah, it's just not what you want to be seeing, especially from. It's not what we want to be seeing, especially two drivers battling for the World Drivers' Championship, and they're one of their main rivals. Motor Silver is right behind them, so they are very close to bringing one of their biggest rivals into the fight if they continue to battle this way and slow each other down. Minkestrel gets a very bad exit there. That's going to leave Epic Animal to have a free straight of just saving his ERS, but as I say that, he's in hot lap mode. He's not really looking to save ERS. Either with Minkestrel, he's trying to make up all the time he's just lost from that spin. Wave Dre now makes past My Master. Wave Dre has no ERS. My Master has a bunch of ERS. My Master might try and make a move back on Wave Dre if he can. Mint Kestrel still looking for a move done on Epic the Animal. My Master's still very close to Wave Dre. He's not letting the McLaren driver pull away as Wave Dre locks up a bit. That's going to bring My Master even closer towards him. 5-10 separating them now. My Master might get a move back on Wave Dre. Kevin Cowell is very close to Tax Collector. Look, trying to keep up with the Romanian. He's not getting lapped. Time, Wave, Dre, and My Master. My Master might find time, but he doesn't. But he will. DRS on Wave Dre. Score is back again, even closer. Mint Kestrel gets a move now done on Epic Animal with DRS. And now we have a change for second places. Chris has pulled a 3.5 second gap to the drivers behind him, and Mint Kestrel still looks to hold that for the rest of the race. Kevin Cowell gets the move done on Tax Collector. Tax is still there, waiting for a move to hopefully be done. But I do not think that will happen. My Master keeping close with Wave Dre, not letting him have any breathing room. And this is looking to be a good battle emerging between these two drivers. Two drivers you wouldn't expect normally to battle with each other. Wave Dre normally qualifies at the front of the grid, while My Master's more top of the mid pack. But it's definitely another thing to see when you see two drivers battling it out, as Mint Kestrel's trying to let Epic Animal just get past so we can have DRS on him on the next straight, but Epic Animal isn't falling for it. And now coming on to the back straight, Epic Animal has DRS activated right now, and that is the move pretty much done and dusted for the McLaren driver. Very nicely done from Epic Animal. Mint Kestrel's going to want to look now to try and make a move back on him. My Master's not dropped out the DRS range of Wave Dre, but Mint Kestrel is right on the diffuser of Epic Animal, and was going to make a look down the inside into turn 1. Too wide they go now. Mint Kestrel has the inside line, which now is turning into the outside line, but Epic Animal decides to back off as Wave Dre makes a move past Samad, who dives into the pits. It's surprising, it's that these guys probably could have lasted till the end of the race, but he goes on to new medium compound tyres. He thinks the best idea is a 2-stop, but is it really? As he emerges behind his teammate, but ahead of Kevin Cowell and such. Epic Animal very close to Mint Kestrel, probably going to get a move back done on him, as Varga now overtakes Tax Collector for P12. Now the only driver not in the points, the only UGC's AI, who is 18 minutes behind the nearest driver, but as he's an AI, even if he did finish in the points, they would not be given to him per the rules. This is one very weird race, I have to say. Epic Animal now gets the move done on Mint Kestrel. Mint Kestrel breaks very late, almost smacks right into it. CJ's close, very close to Tax Collector. Tax does not have DRS on drivers like Varga ahead. He's going to lose CJ to have very easy pickings over him. Mint Kestrel now looks for a move back on Epic the Animal. Isn't able to get it done. as Mick Castro now is going to be looking to try. We're looking to try and stick with the Mercedes driver to get the DRS on back on the straight, back on the back straight. There's a little bit of loss of the rear there from Mick Castro. And now it's now just a waiting for them to try and get a move done on each other. And Castro very close now against Deputy Animal, and he will have DRS now coming onto the back straight before DRS even activated. And Castro's pretty much got the move done with that DRS activated. That extra 12-mile-an-hour speed boost is so useful, and the move has already been done and dusted. Mick Castro back up into P2 with Chris pulling a 5-second gap to the drivers behind him. This man's actually very close to his teammate now. It's within DRS range, but does not have the ERS to compare to his teammate. Two different ERS saving as Samad, even without DRS, gets the move done. Phantom Fox does not try and get an overtake back done. This DJ's right. Has just been overtaken by Tax Selector with DRS. A very big battle for P13. Samad goes fast for the 132.8, taking Chris' fastest lap. Now, just away from who will now and go for an overtake on another driver. CJ looks fine for that, 3/10 behind. Tax Selector, but another driver who looks very good to try and get an overtake on is Epic Animal in the Mercedes, CJ's teammate actually. Epic Animal. Ooh, that Epic Animal is gaining a lot on Mick Castro. He might get the move done on this straight. Epic Animal, Mick Castro not looking to saving much ERS. Epic Animal burning hot lap. He does get speed boost, but not enough to get a move done. Braking now into turn, one of the final turns, and that is the position still stuck. Motor's over now in DRS range of the drivers ahead of him. That's what I said they didn't want happening. Their championship rival getting into their battle, but now they've been battling for so long that Mo is now here and ready to try and get moves done on them. Whereas Greg gets 10-second time penalty speed in the pit lane, and he retired from the session. Even in P6, he is not happy with where he is. Tires on track. Samad gets past Michael Louise. Maybe showing that maybe you should have pit for new mediums. The problem is he's got a 7-second gap to climb to Mindmaster, and then another 7-8 seconds to climb to B29, and then that's another 7 seconds to climb to then get to Motus over. So there's a lot of time needed to gain if Samad wants to finish near those podium positions in this race. He's only got 3 laps to do so. So we jump on board with the Animal again, looking to get a move done as he gets a 3-second time penalty. Epic and Mick Castro both get a move. No, both and Epic Animal both get moved on Mick Castro. Now, very nicely done from both drivers. As Wave Drain now leaves the session and after retiring from the race. Oh no. I need to make a check, but sadly I will not be doing it during the race. That would just make the viewing experience very bad for all you people watching. E25 dropped a 7-second gap. The gap's opening up between him and Kestrel, my master, keeping a very nice and respectable P6. And I don't think Samad will be gaining enough time to get a move done on the Ferrari driver. Michael Louise also having a very nice race. Oh, wrong button, sorry about that. As he's up 5 positions, my master up 3. Kevin, Cal and CJ up 6 positions equally. Only just sees AI down 7, but that's sadly due to a disconnection from him. His Xbox not working. Motorsilver up 3, Epic Animal up 2. My Master Mad down 4. Motorsilver starting to fall back a little bit from Epic Animal. He knows that no matter where he finishes, he gets that podium position. He will be in that podium position because Mint Castle doesn't have a time penalty, but Epic Animal does, and there are 2 podium spots. So even if he stays within DRS range but finishes P4, sorry about that, that's still a podium for the McLaren driver. As Chris now pulled a 6.6 second gap to Epic Animal behind, as Mint Kestrel is now looking to try and get a move done on Motorsilver. He's definitely shown that he may have a bit more pace than the McLaren driver. It's Epic Animal. He's just trying to negate damage and pull away for the end of the race. Now I think the only battle we have to focus on is the battle for second place, which definitely will be an intriguing battle. We have 3 very quick drivers all in their own accord. With Epic Animal is one of the most consistent drivers I've met. Motorsilver is just raw pace. He has that, and Mint Kestrel also has very good raw pace. But I think it's his intelligence that helps him get in front of other drivers. He knows when to go for moves. He knows when to save the RS and back out. It's very nicely done for him, as they both now just wait for the final lap. They know they get a podium no matter where. If the race is to finish right now, they're not really getting that desperate. Mint Kestrel knows that if he gets desperate, he makes a mistake, and that is him maybe even out of the race, and there goes his chance of a podium. He has no opportunity. He should then leave one of their rivals for the World Constructors Championship having brilliant points. Motorsilver, another World Constructors Championship rival ahead. But luckily, Mint Kestrel does have his teammate of B29 behind, so even if he does finish behind them, B29 will still bring in good points for the team. Samad's almost within DRS range now of Mindmaster. Samad may get a move done on the final lap, as Mint Kestrel is burning a lot of VRS, trying to get a move done, trying to force a move. He's trying to stay up close so he doesn't have to burn a lot of VRS on the back straight. As Mint Kestrel looks for a move down on the outside, Motorsilver defends very nicely, follows the racing line in, as Animal will probably be watching this all when looking back and just be hoping that nobody makes a move done on him. The Motorsilver has a lot of VRS built up and saved. And Kestrel on the other hand does not. He is playing it very risky, not saving ERS, hoping to just get dragged along by the pace of Mo. As now you see them all activating overtake ERS mode. 7/10 gap from Motorsilver to Epic Animal. You can already see that diminishing as DRS gets activated. 5.5 cents now. 4.5, 4, 3.53. Here's 10-second time penalty for corner cutting. Motorsilver sends around the outside of Epic Animal. He wants a move done. He wants to finish P2 on track. Unable to get it done. As now Motorsilver gets Mint Kestrel gets a brilliant exit. And it's now right on the diffuser of Mint Kestrel, right on the diffuser Motorsilver. But the move is unable to get done. Epic Animal finishes P4, Motorsilver P2, Mint Kestrel P3. Chris is your winner of the Miami Grand Prix. What a race from him. From pole position to leading the race to winning the race. What a race by Chris. He wins the sprint. He gets pole in the sprint. He wins the sprint. He gets pole in the race quali. He gets pole in quali. He wins the race. What a race. What a brilliant display of pace shown by him. We now watch the rest of the drivers cross the line. It's been one heck of a race from these drivers. Some of these reserved, some of these non. It's a drive, it's a race some of these people want to remember, some of these people will want to forget, as they have had some brilliant battling as CJ gets 10-second time ready for unserved penalties. He jumps on to P13. Dino takes him to P14. Oh, god damn it. I think I might have said the wrong place. As I realised my mistake. We're in Las Vegas, not Miami. As I apologise for the mistake there, but hey. That is one race people will want to remember as a brilliant Las Vegas race around the Las Vegas Strip. As I still begin to butcher my words after doing this for multiple months now, being the commentator for every single race here, and I'm still butchering words. It's a perfect way for me to carry on doing it here. Is Chris your winner? It is 3 different teams on the podium, but Ferrari takes a top step once again. That is 3 races in a row now. Driver of the day gets given to Varga. Samad gets fastest lap. Your race runner, of course, Chris. Master gets cleanest driver. Very nicely done for him. Chris takes out the maximum amount of points he can. Wins the sprint. Wins the race. Monkey Silver and a nice recovery drive. As Wave Dre has made a bit of annoyance and I think has decided to leave the league. That means if you join now, you may have an opportunity to take this McLaren seat away from him. And that is all I have for today. I was your commentator, Alfie. Thank you all for joining me, and have a brilliant rest of your night.